You're given the ability to stop time for 10 minutes a day. No more, no less. What would you do? If I can stop time, then the 10 minutes would never pass. Op tricked you into stopping time forever. Welcome to the series finale of Futurama. But there's no professor to reset everything. Eternal existence would be hell. It'd be a nightmare. I'd never use it, because every time I'd think I'd rather use it for something better. And at the single day I don't have any power, because I used it for something petty. Then something bad will happen that I could have prevented. And I'll feel guilty for the rest of my life, because had I not used it for something stupid, I could have prevented that thing. Duck's sake, you ruined it for me. That's my job. Welcome to my life of ruining people's fun. Work an extra 10 minutes that nobody knows about. I'll be 2% more efficient and no one will understand why. It would be glorious. Found Whiteshroot's Reddit account. Question: which type of bear is best? I assume the 10 minutes of frozen time has to happen all at once, since you specified no more nor no less. If that wasn't the case, I could have a lot of fun making people think I was lagging in real life by stopping and starting time with me walking forward but moving backwards, or teleporting in front of a wall and waking into it like a video game character. Maybe end it by shouting frustrated, "I give up. This game is too laggy," before just vanishing into thin air. But if it does have to be 10 minutes all at once, I'd probably use it to profit in some way, like gambling. Put all my money on roulette and just put the ball wherever I want it. Then spend the rest of the time taking the chips from all the nearby tables and, if I can, wherever they're stored. Could also look at everyone's hand at a poker table. But even high stakes, I could still just get a bad hand. I could swap cards around, but I think that would get noticed instantly. I'd be tempted to do a bank job, but I know the money would be easily tracked, even if they couldn't figure out how I did it. Honestly, I can't actually think of very many ways to profit off this power that don't involve stealing. Lots of ways to just cause petty trouble though, like pantsing the president and everyone there on stage with could be funny, or just vanishing the ball in any sport. If I could do it quickly enough, swapping the side the goalie is on in a high stakes soccer game would be great too. I would use them 10 seconds at a time and do different things every time. Like dropping a steamroller on some 17-year-old Japanese kid who's come to Egypt to kill me. I'm a good person, I swear. But I become a petty thief. Never steal anything significant, but stuff that has some value, or money from rich assholes. I'm in debt, working my hardest, but still need several grand to pay for school and I don't qualify for loans of any sort, so stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. Starting a story with him a good person is like starting a story with him not racist, but I don't drink beer. But when I do, it's Dos Equis. Duck with people and move them down the stairs after they just climbed them. Like all time, including mine. And does this reset every day? If I could move around still, I'd probably rob a bank or something XD. Only you can move around. And it resets every day. Yeah, I guess each day I would assassinate a bad person. Rob a bank every once in a while. Cuddle a random person's pupper. You know, the usual. Pick up people walking and put them in a big group and witness chaos. You really want to see the world burn, eh? Randomly shout Zawardo throughout the day and just duck with people while time is stopped. I would make a killing on sports betting. Razorbacks would never lose another game. Why does that Alabama running back keep dropping the ball? I'd use that time to rest my back/feet at work. I'm always in so much pain. I could have made my 30-minute commute in 10 minutes. Plus I would get to drive fast with no police consequences. Do they stack up over time? Like if I didn't stop time at all for 3 days straight, would I have 30 minutes of stopping time saved up? They'll reset. Oof. Well, in that case I'm not entirely sure what I would do, haha. Can I stop time for 1 minute then use the other 9 during the same day? If so, then stop it in like 30-second intervals, just to do things to make people feel like something is off. Like, moving a piece of furniture ever so slightly out of place. I could use it when it's necessary, like in a fight or in a life threat. Otherwise I'd use it for a little bit of mischief, like messing around with random people. Say you are at the supermarket carrying lots of bags and also trying to keep a child tame. I would use it to put the bags in the boot, then go back for my child, vice versa, or to have time to read, or have a coffee in silence, or eat cake in secret. Slowly move furniture in people's houses, not a lot, but enough for them to notice. Sleep for an extra 10 minutes every morning. Probably wasted on sitting on my bed scrolling through social media and procrastinating, if we're being honest. Guys too afraid to state the obvious answer. I see several guys admitting they would steal things. Park my car or even a truck with conceal style hood to a hypermarket. Stop time and get as much food I can for the next 10 minutes. Priorities. With conceal style hood to a hypermarket, the duck. Does any of that mean? Truck with conceal style hood. Truck with covered truck bed to a hypermarket. In the parking lot of a grocery store. I would walk around areas with lots of ATMs, ideally places with high foot traffic, because those get serviced the most often. The best spots are usually banks or buildings owned by banks, like corporate HQ buildings. I wouldn't just steal money from the ATMs. That'd too obvious, and would give my scheme away. I would instead commission a whole bunch of counterfeit bills and swap the real ones with the fake ones. This way nobody really catches on, and I have a source of unlimited money. If you've ever seen the methylamine train heist in Breaking Bad, where they swap the methylamine with water, it's kind of like that. The problem with stealing stuff is security cameras capturing you before and after the stop 10 minutes, and the authorities placing you at the scene or on your way to / from the scene of all these thefts. You'd have to wear disguises. I could be a pro athlete, or the best poker player, or the best gamer, in sports particularly. Sometimes being 0.5 of a second faster is what makes the difference. Knowing I could catch that pass, or grab that board, or whatever, and that I'd only need to use maybe 5 of my 600 time stop seconds, I'd be able to play with extreme consistency. It'd be like MHA, except I was the only person with a quirk. No more, no less. I don't think you could stop time for just a few seconds. I think you're right. I totally missed the no less part. I guess it's a life of crime for me, just like everyone else. I would use this for cheating on tests easily. Just stop the time, look up the correct answer, then unpause it. Repeat whenever I don't know something. Enter tournaments in Fortnite and other games you make money from, and pause time with 10 minutes left in the match, and get easy wins. If it can only be in one turn minimum block, I'd plan the day before to see when that would most likely be, when it needed most. If not in one turn minimum block, I'd use it in little bits throughout the day as I saw fit. Just use it to be on time for meetings I'm running slightly late to. I have a lot of customers lately that keep complaining about wearing a mask. I'd stop time for like 5 seconds and punch them in the face. Did you mean customers, or do you regularly interact with people who make / provide costumes? Oh yes, it was a typo. I meant customers. If I can stop time, then there is no time limit. Free win for me, bitch. You cannot move and stop time. Free lose for you. Choose something I want to learn, like a language, and use those 10 minutes to learn a little more about it each day. Eventually I'll get somewhere. Well, above all else, I would be very careful that no one ever finds out what I can do. I don't want to be disappearing into some government lab. The first thing to do would be to figure out how it works. Whether I can divide up the 10 minutes, or whether it's 10 solid minutes. When the 10 minutes refreshes, 24 hours or at midnight, and whether 2 days worth can be stacked if I use it at 11:50 PM and midnight. How my power shows up on recording devices, and what the before/after looks like. Cameras are everywhere, and so on. Once that is sorted, a life of minor fraud and theft against those who deserve it. I'm no hero, and I'm not a master criminal either. though. I'd probably need to find a way to pay taxes, or the government could find me that way. Maybe a fake business. Does it have to be the same time every day? Like, can you do your 10 minutes right before new day starts to use the next 10 minutes, so you have 20 minutes to do more every second day? Cause if I can do that, it'd be better, so I can really make difference. Really, by time I get to bank I'll only have 3 minutes before I have to walk out not seen. But if I get that 20 minutes, I'd get hella more and be far away. If not, I'd use that 10 minutes to cook then. Does a funky yellow man stop time for me? If so, then my funky purple boxer man will beat him up. Freak people out by suddenly appearing behind them, or untying their shoes constantly, or make them feel insane by whispering in their ears, and before they turns away stop time and walk out. Bitch slap the duck out of multiple people I work with. Then, when time is no longer stopped, they feel like they got hit by a train. My mind is too perverted for this question, lol. Me starts timer for 10 minutes, also me. And that's how I stop time forever, the mannequins I have been talking to for the past 200 years. I would get out of school fast. Not use it, because I'm already easily bored and can't really afford all shit I buy to deal with my boredom. Stupid expensive Lego HMPH. Catch up on missed homework, especially just before it's due in. I would use every law that I wanted to in a way that it would be beneficial for me, because nobody would catch me and it wouldn't be immoral, because whatever happens, it's a part of a different reality. Hug all my friends and check out ebb games and steal a lot of shit. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Do you really need more time than this? Hug and cuddle up on some lady like a cat, or eat my little sister's cheesecakes. Go to a video game store, ask every game and console I want, and when I'm about to pay, I stop the time and get out of there with all the purchased. It would be better to just walk in and out while time is stopped, so you would seem less suspicious. Stupid stuff, like steal or something. Buy stuff on Kijiji, then take my money back out of their wallet. Yell us weirdo and throw knives around. I would go to the supermarket and put water bottles under people's feet, so when time resumes they will all trip at the same time. Slowly progress in a jewelry robbery. I would find a buyer and every day just examine the place. I'd be gone by the time the 10 minutes are up in the robbery. I'd be an invisible robber. Probably mess with my coworker and drive him to quit. If you knew him, you'd do the same. Then after that, I don't know, steal I guess? Or go to Vegas and win all of the money. Just run around the neighborhood stealing batteries out of remotes. I'd hit a different street every day. After about 3 days, I buy as much stock and Duracell as possible. World conquered. Go to the gym right when it's closing. Walk in and hit the squat rack for 10 minutes of uninterrupted, unused squat rack bliss. Knowing my dumbass, I'd use it to sleep 10 extra minutes in the morning. Or, barring that, I'd use it to be 5 minutes early to work, rather than 5 minutes late. Walk into a GameStop, grab a PS4 Pro and the games I want and walk out. Then after the day I do that, if I'm feeling horny AF, well, I've got 10 minutes to take care of it. Make a hitman agency. Do a building contest, then pause time build, and then make the others build structures strategically collapse. Be able to get 10 more minutes of homework, since I'm such a procrastinator. I'd do several things. I'd never be late for anything, school, dates or birthday parties. I would of course yell Zawardo. If someone pissed me off, I'd do something, make them run into each other, or take their chairs. You know, petty stuff. And finally I'd get an extra 10 minutes in bed. Sleep an extra 10 minutes. I would only stop it for 10 seconds at a time. And I would kill the grandson and great-great-grandson of my stepbrother's body, which I stole. I would also punch a hole through his great-great-grandson's friend, having him fly and crash into a water tower. There's a pretty wealthy family next doors, so I just gotta learn how to pick locks or a good way in, and well, just stop time when they are opening a door. Well, if you could stop time, your gaming device won't be on, nor would anything else. So, I DK what to do, because my video games are gone. But, if there was an exception to this, I would play some TF2. Go unplug the internet from the surrounding houses, and wait for the chaos. Confront a Frenchman walking up a flight of stairs, and move him back down a couple of steps during stop time. Before time resumes, he'll return to the top of the stairs and pose menacingly. Rinse and repeat until desired effect is achieved. You might get beaten by his Japanese friend by doing that. Mon ain't gonna lie, stealin' naughty illegal stuff. I'm no good with power. Considering how long I last, have sex with 20 different people. Hit that snooze button one more time. Enjoy the peace in the start. After a couple weeks tab would probably get boring, so then I would start pranking people. Definitely not studying for my 2 upcoming exams. Then on the day of the exam, few minutes before handing in, I would stop it, go to the smartest person, copy the answers, tie up some shoes to the desks and hand the test in. Then go to sleep. If when time is frozen I'm still able to move and things I interact with continue to move, I'd probably save it for when I'm running late to work. I'd stop it when I'm running a little late so that I can be on time. Honestly, I'd use it to run to the gas station by my house and buy snacks I didn't have to share. I'd just always have snacks in my car that my kids had no clue about. I would snooze my alarm clock for 10 more minutes. I'd go around and play the kind of tricks on people that make them post to the glitch in the Matrix sub. Move things ever so slightly. Move people so they are facing the opposite way. Make someone pour their drink on the floor and, just before I start time again, stand on the other side of the room. And then people would think I was a ninja, because I would simply appear from midair. Like, when we start, we have to use all 10, or can we stop in the middle and save the rest for later? If it's the latter, I'm going to slap my friends when they say something stupid in a conversation. Move someone else close to them and move out of the way so that the other person is blamed. I would just walk straight to my bro and his friends while they're drunk in moving time and make bass boosted fart noises. Yep, I have absolutely nothing better to do. Every time someone walks up the stairs, I would bring them back down to the bottom the stairs. Whatever occurs to me in the moment, it might be petty, vindictive or cruel, like if I got cut off, freeze time, remove the culprit's wheel or turn off his ignition. I might just take a police officer's trousers off, or maybe just eat somebody's sandwich. I might do something more wholesome like take all the muffins from a Starbucks and hand them out to homeless people. I might just use the ability to avoid missing a train. Depends on the day. Go around my neighborhood and put every guy in bed with their ex and listen to the chaos that ensues, smiling at what I have done. I'd go around moving people and putting them in awkward positions / situations. Go into places I can't usually go into. I'd steal from so many wallets. Gotta find a place though that has lots of visitors and no security cameras. Nature trails. Where do a bunch of rich assholes go to that has no security cameras? Edit. One thing that would be fun to do is publicly embarrass assholes. Corrupt cops and politicians. Politician is having a press conference. Stop time. Run up and pull down his pants and underwear. Restart time. I'm sure I could place an artsy flag sticker somewhere where the cameras will see. Let scumbags have fun trying to explain that. I only need 30 seconds to finish what it do. Ed scare the shit out of people when they get home. Stop time as soon as they open their door. Slightly move shit around their house, but not enough to make them think they should call the cops. Take a break for it and put my ear against a wall. Then profit. If I was ever feeling evil, it'd take one thing that looks important like an alarm clock or their wallet and put in behind the fridge, but not in a way that they lose it forever. Just enough to piss them off until they finally see it. I'd really just have some peace and quiet to myself, if I'm being honest. Absolutely no people or noise that could bother me in that time. My 10 minutes or their 10 minutes. My once a day authors. Probably mess with professional athletes to the benefit of my own team. Maybe. IDK. Deflate a football. Probably shag someone fit without them knowing. When school opens, get a bunch of lactose and put it in the hot food. I'll get food from the cold section, which mostly has sandwiches and wops. I live so close to this abandoned mall, about a block or two away, and have wanted to explore it since last year. It's so big I would take more than 10 minutes to explore it. I do my life with this power, and when I need it, I use it. If it really is a 10-minute timer, then I'm just going to hang out by banks and other places with plenty of insured money and then not worry about money anymore. Become the best stage magician in the world. Try to kill my grandnephew and my great-great both grandnephew. Plenty of time to masturbate while rubbing women's boobies. Take food from the kitchen into my room without anybody noticing. Probably do so wacky prediction shit, like X will happen right now. Point, then make it happen. Start small, but eventually start rigging poker in my favor when they start. Eventually start a cult. BC who hasn't wanted to run a cult, who basically pay for my life of luxury. Live frivolous. Have a lion or something dangerous as a pet. Begin to regret it as I see my cult become more and more uncontrollable, with violent tendencies towards non-believers and making their own weird rituals. By the time I realize this, it's way too late, and my cult eats me alive, as a sort of absorption of God thing, before being dismantled by the government. At least I'll have my name in the news for like a week. Worth it. Do you mean like I can stop time for 10 minutes every day? Assuming so, it completely depends on the situation. I'd probably use it to take a 10-minute breather after dealing with an annoying customer at work, or 10 minutes of sleep after pulling an all-nighter. Might use it to scare and confuse my family by moving furniture around. I'd sabotage everything in my stepdaughter's bedroom. I'd probably smack her around a little bit too because I absolutely despise her. I'd fart in her face, shit on her toothbrush and brush her teeth. You know. Just for fun. I would use it for situations where I would get hurt or am being attacked. Push people over and unplug chargers. 10 minutes. Can I stop it for 5 seconds and then make it continue and then stop it later until I reach the 10-minute mark? I could do a lot of things tbh. Good deeds. Family has no groceries. Boom, bags of them. Some owns falling off a building. Wham. Safe on the ground. This all goes under the assumption that 10 minutes passes relative to me, but no time passes relative to anyone else. In doing this, I could effectively teleport by stopping time, walking a short distance away, and waiting out the rest of my time. I could become a celebrity overnight for my superpower and make a duck ton of money. I would show off my skills on TV whenever I could. I'd have t-shirts and shit made after me, and scientists could even study me to find out what makes me tick. Of course without killing me or taking away my power. The best part is I could cut in line and nobody would even notice if I was careful enough about it. The day is long enough for what it is, so nothing. I'd spend all the time trying to figure out what to do. Maybe duck with a Japanese teen and his grandfather, an Egyptian man, another Japanese, a Frenchman, and their dog. Oh, and hire a gay man to kill the dog and the Egyptian. Then I'd kill the second Japanese kid. After that, I'd stab the grandfather and maybe take a small chug of his blood. Eventually I will slam a road roller onto the team, only to get killed by getting punched in my shin. You all knew someone had to do this. Expected JoJo reference. Kill the Joestar bloodline. Walk up to JoJo fans and shout the word "Stop time" or something and then stop time. Walk around to behind them and then time resumes. I would use it at the start of the day to make the few colleagues I like a coffee without having to wait for the machine queue. Hide my sister's valuables just when she is about to get out of the house. Have more time to do my homework. So many options I can think of. I could stop time to catch an earlier bus home from work. It doesn't sound like much, but when you finish at 11 PM you don't have many public transport options. A lot of people mention stealing something, but stopping time doesn't stop you from being caught. Mount a service for mundane revenge or practical solutions. / you don't get to hand your essay to your teacher on time. I put in secret to his stash. / I make one person to get late to everywhere 1 week by steal his keys or wallet temporary. / power shortages when needed. / cheat on games. Fun and profit. It's technically enough to enter the shop, take something expensive and leave without ever being seen by cameras. I would do grocery shopping every single day and it would eventually pile up into quite a lot of savings. Yell Zawarudo before doing it and finally be ready for school on time. I'd stop time so that I can rage scream at the boss and higher ups that are sucking away my soul. I'm sure it's a good oh shit response as well to give me a chance to step back and assess or not have something catastrophic happen. The other questions is, does it all have to be at one time? Hey, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.